Well, it's going to last long. It's going to be mess. Maybe 20 years. Don't think it will stop in 20 months or 20 days. It's not about the trade war, it's about the competition of two countries. In American history, there are two countries they really launched a trade war. Not because they don't like trade, right? I think Ronald Reagan, he loves free trade. He launched a lot of things to promote trade. But when Japan came, he launched the war to fight against Japan. Japan at that time was the second largest economy of the world. Today, China became the second largest economy of the world. This kind of thing happens very natural. In the Western, they believe competition improves. In China, we believe harmonious improve. 我们中国人讲和为贵，西方人战为强。We are totally two different cultures. So, this thing will last long. If you want to have a short-term solution, there is no short-term solution. China-USA trade lasts for 30, 40 years, becomes such a big size. If there's no problem, it's impossible. There's a big problem, it is very natural. The one does not like it, the other guys don't like it, sit, talk. If they cannot talk, they fight and they talk. And I think this thing, even Donald Trump retired, the new president come, it will still continue. There is one big opportunity, and there's one thing that for sure the world needs new trade rules. Americans don't like the trade. Europeans do not like the trade rules. China don't like it. We need a new trade rules and laws. We need to upgrade globalizations. We need to upgrade WTO. In the past 30, 40 years, globalization was driven by big companies, by big countries. Next 30, 40 years, the world needs inclusive globalization. The world needs a system that every country, big or small, can be involved. The world needs small business be able to join this trade. So it's not about two countries trade war. The world needs a new trade rules and laws. And what is that? That is what Alibaba is doing. We need to build up a system. We need to build up a trade, cross-border trade for small business, for consumers. We need to make sure everybody can global buy, global sell, global deliver, global pay, and global travel. Don't think it's impossible. It is possible. And this is what Alibaba's responsibility. This is Alibaba's opportunity too. 19 years ago, nobody believed e-commerce was like that in China. We made it. Today, we have enough resources to make that happen. So we take about another 20 years to build it up. So the trade war between China and USA, will that affect China or affect Alibaba? Yes. For short term, a lot of business in China will be in trouble. A lot of American business will also be in trouble because war, if there's a war, nobody will benefit. I'm sorry to see that. We try to stop it. As a business people, we know how to do business. We don't want to have a war. Easy to launch a war, difficult to stop a war. And you may win the battle, but you'll lose the war. So, short-term business community, China, USA, Europe will all be in trouble. Middle term, a lot of Chinese business will probably move to the other countries. But long term, China will have a new model. China must open its market. China must have the domestic demanding reform. And I think for sure there are two things that in China will never change. First, domestic consumption. Today, China has 300 million middle-income people. 1.1 million people not middle income. The middle income people will grow to 500 million. You like it or don't like it, it will go. But middle income to middle class, there's another huge opportunity. This is the opportunity leave for Timor. There are a lot of business, a lot of people, among 1 billion people, they are under middle income. These are the consumers for the Taobao. And I think this is the trend is going on. China needs to have consumption upgrade, and China also needs to separate or divide different consumptions called 消费分级 and 消费升级. So these are the opportunity. China will never change, say people don't. When problem comes, when economical problem comes, people have no money to spend, they go to Taobao. So I see it's an opportunity. We help, and when problem comes, small business, they cannot buy expensive products, equipments, they come to Alibaba. So I would say, good time have a good business model, bad time have bad business model. Also have problems, but how do you fix it? Next thing is about technology-driven economy. I think the technology-driven, internet-driven, data-driven in China next 10 to 20 years will never change. So if the consumptions, domestic consumption do not change, the technology-driven economy not change, we don't feel any problems with us. And I'm sure for China, short-term problems, middle-term problems, but for long-term, what do you mean by long-term? I think about 3-5 years. 3-5 years later, China will upgrade its economy. China will really rely on not only on one country. If America don't want to do business, $400 billion not happy, we should separate $400 billion to 20 countries. Every country have 20 billion. That is called one road, one belt. That is called we should work more in Africa, Southeast Asia, Europe. So in the future, if the two countries rely on each other just purely, it's not healthy for both countries. So I think opportunity is there. The world is called for new rules and laws. And this thing, China needs to change. If China, this trade conflicts or wars is going to push in China to reform. And by the way, I want to say there are 3 reasons why China will have short-term problems. First, we just had a fantastic past 5 years anti-corruptions. President Xi said, 叫刮骨疗伤, you know that? It's so painful. It's a surgery to take all the garbage away, the corruptions. After the big surgery, like 刮骨疗伤, you need to stay and lie on the bed for years to recover. We are facing challenges. We need a lot of young leaders. We need more government officers that understand the business, understand economy. For them, it takes about another 3-5 years to recover. I think all people will understand, right? In the past 5 years, China launched the biggest anti-corruption wars in the world. When you take all the things away, you need to rest. You need to recover. So we are recovering time. And the next is China is entering into called upgraded economy and shifting the economy, right? From exporting to importing, from outside to domestic, from real estate investment to supply chain, all the things to change. 转型升级. For all these things, nobody have experience. Nobody know where to go. Nobody know how to do. So it is the puzzling period. But China, I believe the people here, I believe all the business community, government, they will work in the 3-5 years, we'll figure it out. And the third, this trade war, if we refuse it, it's a war, it's against China. It is. But it depends on how Chinese people view it. I think it's a challenge to us, it's an opportunity to us. We need to change the business model. We need to upgrade the way we do business. We need to be more open, and we need to more reform everywhere, most of the things in China. So I take this as an opportunity. And I think if we face this positively, it's a great opportunity. 10 years later, China will be different. And 10 years later, USA will be different. And 10 years later, I think if we can make full use of these 10 years, start to prepare your model, doing a little bit modification, believe the future, nobody can stop globalization. Nobody can stop technology. Nobody can stop young people. And nobody can stop this innovation. And Alibaba should get ready for that. So I strongly would discuss with Daniel and the team. For Alibaba, we should get ready for the great opportunity of domestic consumption comes up. We should get ready for the new technology, not only in retail, but also manufacturing, the IoT. We should not focus on this quarter, next quarter, or next year's profit. We should keep on investing, because this is the huge opportunity. Nobody in the history in your life can get an opportunity like this for a year or two. And don't worry about Alibaba. If Alibaba cannot sustain, cannot grow, no company in China can grow. I'm 100% growth, 100% confidence in that. But we should not be stupid enough to prove that we are making profit growing or revenue growing every quarter to prove how smart you are. When somebody proves how smart he is, he's getting into trouble. We have to prove how young people are smart, how our small business is smart. We have to prove they can survive. This is the opportunity for Alibaba. When every problem comes, when Alibaba internet bubble busted, year 2003 and 2004, we started to train our leaders. We started to prepare for the future. And year 2008, when the financial crisis came, we started to train our people. I remember I took the whole team to Silicon Valley, to America, to Seattle. We learn, we listen, we start prepared, and coming back when disaster go, we're ready. Today is the same. We should not focus on next quarter. We should not focus on next half year. Because no matter if the storm comes, no matter how hard you run, you cannot run fast. By closing my talk, I'll tell you a story. Father had 3 sons, and the big storm is coming. He said, you guys go pick up something back home, which is 10 kilometers away. So the elder son had a great equipment, wonderful equipment, all the things, stuff. He said, he started to run. The second son had a beautiful, very strong umbrella. The younger son, he had nothing. So 3 people went out. Late afternoon, 3 people came back. The elder son broken the leg. The second son broke the leg, broke the back. The young son came back with the machine, with the stuff. So the father said, what happened? The elder son said, because I have a good equipment, I think storm is okay, so I run out. The second son said, I have an umbrella. I think storm is okay, so he went out. The younger said, I have nothing, so I waited to hide in the cave until the rain go up and go out, pick up. When problems come, learn how to hide, how to train. Do not go out like 2 days ago, Hong Kong, the big storm. You will be in trouble. So this is the secret sauce of Alibaba. We see the future as a CEO, not only see the opportunity, but also see the disaster. When the disaster comes, you know how to avoid it, how to make use of it, and how to benefit. This is what Alibaba is learning. And this is, in the past 20 years, we see all these kind of problems every day. And I believe Daniel and his team, they will have this wisdom to fight for the future.